Prada, double C, no Chanel, cause she's bad, bad, bad. Ride it, Kawasaki, I can cup you in the Rari, let you ride it, then you're rap, and you're bad, bad, bad. No plan, no Atari, I won't play with you for nothing. I can eat you like hibachi, cause you bad, bad, bad. I just took the doors, all the guinea, now I'm riding, and I'm sliding in the sideways, now she call me her zaddy. Rich nigga, that by my daddy, a new petty. Got a model, gotta think he gotta be him, got a stallion, got $1 million corporation for plenty. I got millions to go get in a couple, yeah. You my dog, so we dead, not a question, but I can't. Would you like I want, got you ready, got $1 million in the wall, in the bank, got it. Stepped on, got it hard, got it cracking on it. Half a million, I just did a warm up for half a million.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And this video today is a story time. Before we get into that, make sure you're subscribed and you're sharing my videos, because the love, the support, we love to see it. We love to see it. But yes, so this story time today is about me having to get a
blood transfusion.
Right, crazy. Because I know you're just like, what? Sorry? A what? A blood transfusion. So basically, here's a little wrap up of how we led up to the blood transfusion. June this year, got my period. Prior to this, my period was pretty regular. It wasn't anything like crazy, whatever. Got my period in June, and then like got it June 10th. Okay, we going through the days. It's like June 20th. I'm like, oh, we still bleeding. What's happening here? Not into this, right? So then, fast forward, July 4th, still bleeding. At this point, I'm just like, am I pregnant and didn't know? But I'm like, no, because I haven't been having sex. So what's up? What's up? So July 4th happens. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna stop. The next week comes, don't stop. So I ended up going to urgent care because I was like, oh, I don't really want to go to the hospital because co-pays. And I'm on my mama's insurance. And I don't need her calling me and being like, what's this emergency room bill that I got in the mail? You irresponsible. You out there doing blah, blah, blah. Didn't nobody want to hear all that. So go to urgent care and they're like, oh, you probably have a UTI, so we're gonna give you some pills for that, whatever. So I was like, okay. But I went to an urgent care on, no, I'm lying to you.
Just rewind all that.
I went to urgent care on 4th of July. Yes, so they were like, you have a UTI, so we're gonna give you some UTI pills, whatever. So bro, I wish I took a picture of the pills, because the pills were like the size of this. Like, you see the size of this? You see this? Let me put my hand behind it. You see the size of this? You see how wide that is, how long that is? Bro, the pills were like horse pills. I was taking horse pills for like 10 days. And I'm stupid and I always had the pills on me, but I would be like at work and forget to take them. And I made the mistake of taking one time without eating. And when I tell you I was going to pass out, my stomach felt crazy. My head felt crazy. I really was just like, wow, this is it. Is that the light? Jesus, is that you? Is it me, Jesus? Like, that's exactly how I felt. So it took me like 14 days to finish the 10 days of pills. But once I finished it, I was like, oh, okay, like, the blood's gonna stop. Psych, that's the wrong answer. Bleeding did not stop until July 31st. So let me just take my mental math calculator out for y'all, okay? From June 10th to July 31st, heavy, cramping, clotting, just a horrible time. 52 days, that's 52 days. Okay, that is 52 days of having to wear those super big purple diaper pads because I would try to wear tampons and I would bleed through those. It just was not a good time. It was a horrible time. Hated it. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I was just like, oh my God, am I gonna be bleeding for the rest of my life? So while all this was going on, I kept trying to get appointments at the gynecologist, and they were booked because, you know, COVID and like having to reschedule those appointments from when COVID first happened to now. And then like it's always hard to get into the gynecologist anyway. So like they were like, oh, we can see you in September. So I'm like, I'm bleeding in July. I'm telling you I'm bleeding. Why would you see me in September, stupid? That don't make sense. Psych, that's the wrong answer. So I ended up calling Planned Parenthood, ended up going on August 6th. By then I stopped bleeding, but I was just like, that's weird. No one gets a huge heavy period for 52 days, so we need to figure out what was going on. So I get there, she's like, yeah, that is weird. You're not on birth control, right? I'm like, nope, not on nothing. So what's up, sis? What's up, doc? So she takes my blood, and this is where this story really starts revving up. So she takes my blood, she comes back in the room, and she's like, you have to go to the emergency room. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I have to do what now? I have to go where? The emergency room. Feel what? No. She's like, you have to go to the emergency room right now. We're gonna send you over there because you need a blood transfusion. Your hemoglobin is at a 5 and the average person is an 11. So I'm like, what you talking about, girl? What you talking about? And she's like, yeah, your hemoglobin, red blood cells, oxygen, all that in between. Even now, even still, like, having to explain it to people, because, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? What's going on? I'm just like, yeah, my hemoglobin was low. And they're like, well, what is that? And I'm just like, it's basically, I ain't have enough blood in my body, so my body was shutting down. That's how I explain it to people, because I'm like, the amount of science classes I've taken, exactly what hemoglobin is, couldn't tell you. I just know you need it, so that's that. So she's like, yeah, you need to like go to the hospital now. It's imperative. You can't go to work, because mind you, I was working overnight that night, and this is where I promote, if your job got you beep up, it's not the job for you, okay? Because I call my job, right? For those of you that don't know, I work in a group home. For those of you that do know, that know me personally, you know my job be having me. Yes. So, call my job. I'm like, hey, it's Cassandra. I have to call out tonight because I have to go to the hospital to get a blood transfusion. Mind you, while all this was going on, I wasn't feeling super tired. I was getting migraines out the hoo-ha. Felt like someone was just in my head all the time. So yeah, that was crazy. And like my muscles felt mad weak. Like doing regular like stuff where I'm lifting my arms up, moving things, felt like I was about to pass out, and I would get like shortness of breath. But I'm thinking like, oh, you just getting a little chubby, girl. You just putting on a little more weight, so that's why you can't really breathe all the time. It's okay, your body gonna readjust. No, my body was shutting down. So when I called them like, oh yeah, I gotta call out of work, they're just like, oh well, you're gonna get written up because that's you're within the 45 day range of when you last called out. And I'm just like, last time I called out was July 4th because I had to go to urgent care because I was bleeding. Now it's August 6th and I'm calling out again because I have to go to the hospital because I was bleeding. Who in their right mind is writing me up for that? What am I'm write up crack, smoking crack, clearly. Call them, call out. I end up going home instead of them sending me there, because she's like, we could send you there in an ambulance. Do you think you could drive there? And I'm like, first of all, I live a block from the hospital. I'm not leaving my car in Troy. And that ambulance bill, if y'all don't know, ambulance bills are like $5,000. And that's with your insurance covering it. I'm paying $5,000 when I could just drive myself there. Give me my keys. I'm out. I'll meet you. Transfer my information over to the hospital. I'll meet them there. I'm not taking no ambulance there. So I go home, change, go to the hospital, whatever. Was in the waiting room for like 4 hours. Finally make it back to a room. They take my blood again and they're like, yeah, so you're gonna have to get a blood transfusion, whatever. And I'm just like, so is it gonna hurt? Am I gonna die from this? Like, somebody else's blood in my body. I don't know if I'm into that. So they just give me the rundown, like basically when you get a blood transfusion, you could have an allergic reaction, you could go into anaphylactic shock, like your body could reject it, and then you'll have to get another one, blah blah blah. And it was just all very scary, because at this point in time now, it's like it's like between 3 and 4 a.m. at this point. I've been admitted, I'm in a room by myself, cold as hell. No matter how many hospital blankets they give you, you're always gonna be cold. I don't know what it is. They put the IV in. The IV hurt like hell. It hurt so much. IV was in my arm. I took pictures of like the bruising that I had to add to this video. IV was in my right arm, and like as they were putting the blood in, I could feel it, and it just hurt. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had to get like a lidocaine shot for anything, but that's what it literally felt like. It burned like lidocaine shots, and I was just like, oh my god, this hurts so much. And then here I had like, it's still faint bruising, but he tried to put the IV in my arm here, but it wouldn't go in because, you know, small vein gang. So it was just a lot. Like emotionally, it was a lot because I was there by myself, and like that, like being in the hospital by myself, having to do that honestly hurt my feelings so much, because not everyone knew I had to get a blood transfusion. Like probably some of my closest friends who don't live in Albany is gonna watch this and be like, so sis, why you ain't tell me, why you ain't call me? But I'm just like, in the moment, it wasn't something that's like, oh my god girl, guess what, I'm getting new blood, baby. My friends that did know, that were in Albany, I definitely felt, I wouldn't even say felt some type of way, because felt some type of way is just like, that's the face I think of when I say I felt some type of way. Like my feelings were just really hurt, because I'm like, you know, my mom's 2 hours away, I'm just sitting in the hospital by myself. These people just told me that my body could reject this, and then that's a whole nother thing, and we still don't even know why I was bleeding for 52 days. We just giving me blood to replace it, and then dealing with that problem later. So I was just very overwhelmed. I was tired, I was hungry as hell, and I was just sad because I'm like, oh my god, why am I sitting in this hospital bed by myself, holding this random nurse's hand, getting this blood transfusion? Crazy. So I definitely was like, honestly bent out of shape about that, and it definitely made me do a lot of self-reflecting on where I put myself in spaces with people, because I hold a lot of people near and dear to my heart, but I had to realize like, ooh, you hold them near and dear to your heart, and they wouldn't even put you in the shirt pocket near their heart to relax. But like, fast forward, they gave me 2 bags of blood, 2 huge bags of blood. To me, they were huge. I'm gonna put a picture up of what one of them looked like. I was there until like 12 p.m. the next day. They gave me the blood, and I was just like, okay girl, go home now. You come back if there's something wrong now, you hear? That's basically what it was. So as far as like now, my blood levels, because I went to the doctors on Mondays, and I'm at an 8. So I'm still very, not as severely anemic, but I'm still extremely anemic, still very much lacking in the blood area. 8 out of 11. But I don't have to get another blood transfusion, which is great, because I don't ever want to do that again. It was just very uncomfortable because you can feel the blood traveling through you. And yeah, still don't know what was wrong with me, so that is the next task on our hands, trying to figure out what was going on, what happened. So I'm nervous about that. Nervous, but kind of just ready to know. And yeah, that was the time. Your girl got a blood transfusion. I was telling people like, oh yeah, I got new blood, so now I'm a superhero. Only superpowers it gave me is super stupid. It's like, yeah, I'm okay. I still feel very like tired and stuff, and my muscles still hurt, but I don't feel like that super shortness of breath anymore, like when I'm doing simple tasks, so that's good. I'm just trying to, I guess, maintain and salvage the little bit of energy that I did get from having to go through that. So I'm just trying to, you know, keep on going. So yes, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys always watching my videos, no matter what video it is, honestly speaking. And I will be back with another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Yes, so make sure you like this video, you share this video, you subscribe to my channel, share all my super hot fire content with all your friends and family. And yeah, stay blessed, never stressed, and never pressed. Bye, you guys.
Rose gold seat on a fucking helicopter, double C, no Chanel, cause she's bad, bad, bad. Ride it, Kawasaki, I can cup you in the Rari, let you ride it, then you're rat, and you're bad, bad, bad. No plan, no Atari, I won't play with you for nothing, I can eat you like hibachi, cause you bad, bad, bad. I just took the doors, all the guinea, now I'm riding, and I'm sliding in the sideways, now she call me her zaddy. Rich nigga shit up on my daddy, your new petty, got a model, got a
Think it gotta be him, we gotta stay, you gotta